Good morning, MWISD ISD family. I'm John Kuhn, Superintendent. Today is Thursday, March the 19th, and I want to give you an update on how things are going. I'm going to keep this as short as I can. First thing I want to say, teachers, you have my permission to wear pajamas to work for the next few days. So I want to talk about academics mainly today. The first thing you need to know, academics for Mineral Wells ISD from pre-K all the way through senior year will begin on Monday. That's going to look different for different campuses, so I want to talk about that first. Some students will be using paper packets. They will be filling out those packets with paper and pencil, doing academic activities, and then different campuses will have different ways of turning those in. Some will want them dropped in a Dropbox. Other campuses want you just to hold on to those until we get back to school. And again, with the situation possibly changing depending on what happens with the virus, those expectations could change as well, and your campus will let you know those details. But I can give you some details. For example, how to pick up those packets and who gets packets. Who gets packets? All students at Lamar and Houston Elementary will work on paper packets. Now, there may be certain extension activities, optional activities that are online for those students who have access online. That'll be kind of teacher by teacher, campus by campus. But basically, all students at Lamar and Houston will be working with paper and pencil. At Travis, for the first 2 weeks, starting on Monday, all students will be using paper and pencil while they get their Chromebooks ready to go. They're getting Chromebooks from the other elementary campuses so that we have enough to send to every student. And we're also ordering cases to put those Chromebooks in. And we think those cases are going to be here pretty quick, but with the way things are right now, you never know. At junior high and high school, most students will use their Chromebooks. There will be certain students who just can't get internet access. We've tried to provide a lot of different options for that, and I'll give an update on that in a little bit. But the students who can't get internet access, and then certain students with special needs will be using paper packets just because they may have some limitations that would make using Chromebooks more difficult for them. So packet pickup, I've had tons of questions about this. Please make sure you share this information online with your friends and family who don't know. If you hear of people asking when this is, please share this information with them. Sunday from 1 to 3, packet pickup at Lamar, Houston, Travis, and junior high. Again, that's going to affect almost all students at Lamar, Houston, and Travis, and just a smattering of students at the junior high. That's going to be Sunday 1 to 3 for those campuses. At the high school, packet pickup will be Monday 4 to 6. Monday 4 to 6 p.m. We try to do it later so that parents who are working can get there. At the same time you pick up those packets, if your student left their Chromebook at school, didn't take it home over spring break, those of you in the secondary campuses, you would be able to pick up your student's Chromebook at that same time. And also, if your student left medications with the nurse, I think that's when all the campuses are planning on having their nurse there to give those medications back. So what else do I need to talk about? Okay, I want to talk about how your teachers are going to stay in contact with your student. I have expressed an expectation with my principals, who will hopefully pass that along to their teachers, that there will be regular face-to-face or voice-to-voice contact between our teachers and their students. This is going to take some doing. So I'm leaving it up to the campus to decide how they feel most comfortable doing it. And then it may be different on a single campus from teacher to teacher too. For example, I would be okay with teachers making, X number of phone calls per day and using telephones to do that. Say call 10 students every day. Obviously, every student's not going to get a phone call every single day if we do it that way, especially at the secondary level where they may have 120, 130 students that they're trying to contact. I've also expressed that I would be happy with once or twice a week the teacher putting together a Google Hangout where all the students will join together, or a Zoom video conference where all the students would join together and basically have class but over the internet. I recently myself downloaded the app Google Hangouts on my phone, and we had our first Google Hangout yesterday with my leadership team, and it worked really well. You've got to be in a site with decent internet, or your video feed will kind of hang up and your voice will drop off. I had some folks in that meeting that were in their car, and we had some trouble with just those individuals. But the vast majority of the 20-odd people in our group, we were able to see each other. We were able to hear each other. The one piece of advice I'll give you, we learned this, is if you're not talking during that meeting, and this goes with Zoom meetings too, if you're not talking, you need to mute your microphone because those programs are written so that whoever is talking, the camera shows them biggest on the screen. Well, if you've got background noise, it's going to pick it up and it's going to zoom in on you, and you're going to be sitting there scratching your nose or whatever and not realize everybody's looking at you. So only the person talking should be unmuted. That's just a little tech tip from Mr. Kuhn. So there are other ways teachers can communicate as well. And if, for example, my wife in her class, she has a very robust usage of Class Dojo. And so she's probably going to use Class Dojo with her class because that's what the parents are used to. Class Dojo is really cool. It's like a little tiny Facebook just for a group of people. In her case, it would be her parents or students and her. So some teachers are going to use that for communication. There may be within Google Classroom some means of doing a similar thing, but I'm okay with regular phone calls. I'm okay with regular virtual meetings. I'm okay with using applications that you may already be using in your classroom. But just know, parents, that we want to maintain that human connection between your student and their teacher, and we want our teachers to be really involved in your kids' education, even though that we're physically separated. And also in terms of keeping up with or keeping in contact with your child's teacher, we don't want that interrupted. That really shouldn't change a whole lot because there's already separation between teachers and parents because parents are going to work, teachers are going to school to teach. So contacts have traditionally taken some doing to keep parents and teachers in contact. So that's really not any different. I am asking all of my teachers to maintain set office hours that they share with their students and with their parents so that when they are available for sure to reach out to them. So your teacher will let you know when those office hours are. And then also today, Rena Hearn, who is our director of PEMS, which is the information management system that the state uses that we send the state information data from our local school. She's going to be posting something today on Facebook. I'm going to ask Karen Bullock, who's our public communications director, to share that across our platform, social media, website, and everything else. But what she's going to share is information on how to use Parent Portal to stay in contact with your child's teacher. We have some parents who are really, really good at accessing Parent Portal. You can keep an eye on all your kids' grades, their attendance, their lunch balance. I mean, everything through Parent Portal. But a lot of parents, may not know that or may not use that. Especially you dads out there, because I am one. I know how it is. I keep forgetting my Parent Portal password, and then my wife has to remind me and stuff. So she's going to be sharing information on how to access Parent Portal. We've had Parent Portal for years. We would love for one positive to come out of this to be that more parents are more engaged in their kids' education by using Parent Portal. The other thing, you can email your teachers. The vast majority of our employees, their email address is first initial, last name at MWISD.net. There are a few individuals with exceptions, like, for example, Mr. Smith, who's the principal of the DAP in the academy. His email address is JN Smith. His middle initial is in there because at another point in time we had another J Smith working for the school district. So there are a few exceptions, but the vast majority of people, that's going to be their email address. And if you don't know your teacher's first initial, I think you can go to the campus website, and there should be a listing of teachers on that website where you can find out what their first initial is, first name is. Some teachers are going to be willing to share their phone numbers with their students and parents. If that happens to be one of your teachers, I would ask you to please, respect their privacy, especially late at night. Please don't call or text them late at night when they're trying to have some downtime or some family time. And if a teacher doesn't want to share their personal cell phone with folks, I understand that too. So there will be other ways for you to stay in contact with teachers who don't. But I will say I've been super impressed with the flexibility of my teachers so far during this situation. Other updates to share with you: there is no STAR testing. That's been canceled. And so grade 5, grade 8 advancement, promotion to the next grade, it won't have anything to do with STAR. It will have to do with grades and attendance. And obviously attendance during this period is out the window. Nobody's attending. But attendance prior to now, those records haven't been deleted. They're still there. So that will come into play. And then I will tell you on grades for the 5th, 6 weeks, the 3 weeks reporting period that's coming up pretty soon. I don't believe elementaries are going to be sending out a progress report. You're just going to get no progress report for this 3 weeks. For junior high and high school, you will get a 3 weeks progress report, and the reason for that is UIL eligibility rules require it. If we were to not give a 3 weeks report for our junior high and high school students, they would all lose eligibility. And if all of a sudden, coronavirus is cured tomorrow and we're all back in school, then those kids wouldn't be able to play, even if they were passing all their courses, because we didn't send out a grade report like we're supposed to. So there will be a 3 weeks progress report going out for junior high and high school students for that reason. We continue to serve meals at Travis Elementary. You can drive up, roll down your window, they'll put the meals in your car. You don't have to have your kids with you. You can just tell them how many kids you have at home. That is happening from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Every day, Monday through Friday. And as long as we're out of school, that's going to happen unless the government tells us we can't do that anymore because of the possible spread of the virus. As of right now, they haven't told us we can't do that. I want to tell you that if you have a child under the age of 18 and you live in Mineral Wells, you can pick up those meals. They don't have to be a Mineral Wells ISD student. You do not have to be low income. You can, all kids are served through this program. Now, you do have to be a kid, and I know there are elderly folks and other folks who need food, and there are programs like Meals on Wheels that can serve those needs. We can't serve those needs just by law and by the regulations of the program. But I want you to understand there is no shame in going and picking up those meals during this time, especially the fact that there's groceries that you can't find. I tried to find a few things the other day. I couldn't find potatoes. And I do get those meals for my kids. I've got 2 kids under the age of 18 at home, and that is their lunch every day. I go and pick that up, or my wife goes and picks that up. There's absolutely no shame in that. We served over 500 yesterday. We served 380 the day before that. So it's just a matter of people learning about it, finding out about it. But I want you to know it is there, it is available, and we want you to take advantage of it. We've got food that we don't want to go bad and have to throw out. They gave out in the lunch bag yesterday was oranges, and oranges don't keep forever. So please take advantage of this. If you live outside the city limits, we have a sign-up sheet where you can sign up and get on that. And our transportation department, Brett Barrett, the director of transportation, they will bring your meals to you. But you have to live outside the city limits. And I apologize. I know there are people inside the city limits who don't have a car. But we would ask you to find a way to get to Travis, whether it's by walking, if public transit is available, by taking that, by catching a ride with a friend or neighbor, or by, if you have a friend or neighbor who's coming to get meals anyway, asking them, hey, while you're there, pick up 2 extra ones for my 2 kids and bring it by. We would ask you to arrange it one of those ways, because we want to make sure this stays manageable. We don't know how these numbers are going to grow, and I didn't want to set my transportation department up to deliver meals for 500 people, which would not be possible. So we would ask you in the city limits to please come get your meals. I want to let you know that we have locked the track and the tennis courts. I know that's not going to be a popular decision, but that's something that we felt was necessary. I just realized my pinky finger was probably covering the microphone this whole time, so I hope you were able to hear me. That is pretty much all I have today. Again, I appreciate everyone's flexibility, and I said something to a guy yesterday. I think we're, not only as a school district, but as a community, I think we're going to come out stronger from this than we went into it. Hope there's not a single case of coronavirus in Palo Pinto County. I hope it misses us, because we are taking such good precautions. And I will end with something that I posted yesterday, typed it out, and that is that I'm personally taking this very seriously. I know there's a risk of people saying, oh, you're panicking or whatever. I know people made fun of a lot of people for panic buying, and everybody did buy the toilet paper, and that wasn't okay, honestly. That was weird. But I understand, too, you also don't want to be trapped without toilet paper. That would also be real, real bad. So, but because people panic bought, a lot of people are without toilet paper. So, Anyway, that's totally a tangent, sorry. I do think we should take this seriously, and just, for a couple weeks, 3 weeks, however long they're telling us to stay kind of locked down with your family, I think you should do that. And it's really not about you, because a lot of people, if you're younger and healthy, they're saying that you'll recover pretty quickly. But there are people that I care about. There are people that you care about in this community that have illnesses that make them vulnerable. Maybe their immune system doesn't work as well, or they're fighting off other things, or they're elderly, and you need to love those people more than you love going out, basically. And I would just encourage you to do that, to take it seriously. And I know being cooped up in the house is no fun. Go out in your backyard, sit on your patio, drink a Coca-Cola, but please, take care of your neighbors by not congregating. Thank you.